Welcome back, everybody. Well, our next guest is one of the hottest young chefs in the Twin Cities, and his new concept is slated to open later this year. Please welcome back to the show our good friend Yia Vang. Yia, what's up, my friend?
Hey, Jason. I love how you call me young, you know.
Well,
thanks. Appreciate it.
They wrote that in the teleprompter, Yia. I didn't.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me go through this, my friend, because you are busy. So you have Union Hmong Kitchen. You're a chef there, Mid-City Kitchen. Mm-hmm. You're getting ready to do another thing, which we'll talk about in the next segment. Mm-hmm. You're prepping to open the new place. You got a podcast. Yeah. How are you finding time to talk to me today?
Because I love you, bro. You know, that's what, every time your producers call, we're good to go.
Thank you, buddy. But seriously, let's talk about the restaurants first. How's everything going?
It's going as good as it can be. And you know it too, because, you have a restaurant. And so, man, we've been very blessed by people coming in and ordering. And, on Saturdays, we do these little pop-ups at Dangerous Man. So these little slurp shop noodle pop-ups there too. And so, yeah, we're just finding every angle we can. Right now, we're in the building process, figuring out everything we can for VNI. And it's just a slow process right now. So, yeah, we have a great team, and the community around us is excited. And we're so excited to be able to showcase all this to them. And
if people miss the last couple times you're on VNI, tell them where it's going to be.
Yeah, so it's literally in the middle between Young Joni and Hi Hi. And so with Ann and Christina, we always joke about how that's like become Asian Row now. It's all Asian restaurants. So it's right in there. It's right on 2nd Street. It's like 3 blocks down from Dangerous Man, who we've become really good friends with. 1717 2nd Street Northeast, right there in Northeast area, right across the street from East Side Service Center.
And you mentioned Dangerous Man, because I want to properly plug that too. The pop-ups are Saturdays, right, Yia?
Yep. So we'll be there for the next 3 Saturdays, 5 to 7. You can order online, and we call it slurp, because it's all noodles and congee, which is like a rice porridge soup. We have this ramen where we call it the instant, not instant ramen, and so it's super, especially for cold winters. It's just, you get a bunch of those, you get, your friends around, and you kind of just, hover over and slurp it.
And rumor has it, are you doing a podcast too?
Yeah, it's my friend David Crabb and we're doing this podcast called White on Rice. And so it's a really fun podcast where we interview all these people from Minnesota, different walks of life. We have restaurant people, we have politicians, we have people working in the nonprofit sector. It's been so fun. I think we're like 35 episodes in, and it's been really, really fun. Just getting to know all the people from the Twin Cities area.
Isn't it great, Yia, the podcast format just really allows you to have, because, you're not kind of like a traffic cop. You don't have to go to break at a certain time. It really allows for great conversations. Are you having fun doing it?
I love it because, the one thing that David and I, my co-hosts, we get this thing where, like, before the pandemic, we would go out to eat and we sit there, and our best conversation always happened after we got done eating, and we're sitting there around the dinner table and we're just talking for 5 hours about different topics. And what's really cool about that is, like, we just tell our people that come in, we're like, pretend that's what we're doing. Yeah. It's a after dinner, around the dinner table topic. And actually, Jason, I was about to email you because we'd love to have you on the podcast. So I just want to hear your story and how you got to where you are. So, yeah.
You say the word and I'm there. Anything, I'll be there whenever you want. Whenever you want.
Super excited, yeah.
Tell the folks about the Stellar Kindness Project. I want to know more about this too. What is this?
Yeah, so Katie Stellar from Stellar Hair Project, she has this kindness project where it started out from the Red Chair, which basically what it is the Red Chair Project, where she would go in a corner and she'll see somebody holding a sign or somebody who's, kind of, down on their luck or whatever, and she would pull out her chair and she just cut their hair. She'd say, hey, would you like a haircut? And she'd just do it right on the corner. And that kind of developed to the Stellar Kindness Project, where this summer they were working with a lot of homeless encampments. And she's a friend of mine. She came up and said, hey, do you think you could help provide some lunches? I told Katie, I said, wherever you are, we're there. And so it's just kind of developed out of that. And so we're trying to be a little bit more organized And so we're working on that project right now with her. And so the Kindness Project is all her, and all we do is we provide some food. And so she's the baller here, and I just get to kind of tag along with her.
The last thing, and again, we're going to talk about your show after the break. What are you doing with Explore Minnesota?
You know, we have this really cool project that's coming up. It's in this spring. It's coming up. I think that's all I'm allowed to say. I don't want to get in trouble.
No, don't.
But I'm really, bro, I'm really excited about it, man. It's so fun, and I get to involve some friends, and it's such a fun project. So yeah. I'm excited. I think May, it starts around there. I don't know. I might have said too much.
No, I don't want to get you in trouble. I love the Explore Minnesota folks. So we will say nothing else.
They're awesome.
Yeah, they're great. So all we'll say is stay tuned. And stay tuned right here because Yia's going to stick around. But right now, for more information, head to unionmungkitchen.com. And when we come back, some of Yia's friends will join us to talk about Season 3 of Relish on TPT. That and more when we come back. Back after this. We love you, Explore Minnesota.
We're back! More chefs, more recipes, more stories to relish about the cuisines and the cultures of our neighbors. I'm Chef Yia Vang. Join me for a new season of Relish on tptoriginals.org.
Look at Yia. TV star Yia Vang. That's a clip from the new season of Relish, hosted by my buddy, Chef Yia Vang. We're back with Yia and Amy and Brittany, who are the co-creators of Relish. Hello, ladies.
Hello. Thanks so much for having us.
No, thank you for being here. Obviously, I love the food culture in this city. I love food in general. I love our dining scene. Question for either of you, how did the idea for Relish come to be?
Well, I am a foodie and was always looking for ways to get food into my work. And so I produced a special episode of Minnesota Original around the culinary arts. And shortly after that, I was invited to develop a web series, and I picked food, and Brittany was on board, and it took off from there.
And Brittany, how did you get hooked up with that guy next to you there in the Brady Bunch square?
Well, you know, in the beginning part of our research phase for this series, we met with a lot of people in the Twin Cities, and Yia was one of them, and we loved his energy. He's so curious about food traditions, not only his own, but other people's as well. And so we had a good feeling that he was going to be a good host for this series.
And Yia, I know from your restaurants, and I know from talking to you that sharing your culture means so much to you. Do you consider this just another arm of that, another way to spread word of your culture out there?
Absolutely. I think that, you know, we live in this world where we all, like right now in this culture, it's all about what's different, how we're different. And sometimes those differences, you know, butt heads. But I actually, in those differences, we find similarities. And so that's what got me really excited about this series. Like, for example, I'm talking to Jorge Guzman, and we're talking about, you know, he's talking about Mexican food. I'm talking about Hmong food. And we realize that we're kind of like weird cousins. You know, like some of the favorite profiles and stuff like that. And we actually match. Like, we're literally from opposite sides of the world, but we're matching. And so when I'm in there and I'm interviewing, I'm finding these similarities with all these different cultures, and I love it. And I love that's what food does, is it brings that commonality together. And I think that in a world that we're living in right now, we need to find more commonality than differences.
Without a doubt. Amy, I know it's like picking a kid. I mean, when people ask, you know, me, hey, what show is your favorite or whatever. But I wanted to ask you, through the producing of the show and being exposed to so many great people in our food scene, is there a story that sticks out to you, right? I mean, putting you on the spot there?
Yeah, that's a terrible question, Jason.
I know.
I'll say my favorite is always the one I just finished up because I've spent so much time with that chef. So I just finished editing John Sugimura of Pink U. I've been craving sushi for 2 weeks. No, I mean, I have learned so much through this series, and I mean, every chef has been my favorite. I've made many of the dishes many times. It's really opened up my own personal culinary experience. My kitchen is much more diverse than it was before I started working on the show.
Amy, John, full disclosure, is on our show a lot. He's a friend of mine.
Yeah.
Please tell me that you saw magic in the air when you ate his crispy rice, his tuna crispy rice.
Don't I dream about that dish,
Amy,
and
do you
I dream about it.
Do you not there are days when I think about it and I call John and I'm like, why are you not open? I need it right now. It is the best.
I'm with you. Yeah, and that is what he made for us. So the recipe's online now.
Yeah.
It's so good. Hey, Yia, who are some of the chefs, before we go, buddy, that are in this season?
We have Karin Thomason that just came. Obviously, John. We have, I'm kind of blanking now. We have Gustavo from Nixa. We just shot with him. Brittany and Amy can help me here. I'm kind of blanking a little bit.
Some other chefs that we've got coming up are Nettie Colon. She's making a
yeah.
Puerto Rican fricasse de pollo.
Ooh.
We've got Jorge Guzman, as was mentioned. Gerard Klass is making a soul food sandwich for us. Masuda Sherzad with a dough piazza, an onion and lamb dish. Jyoti Kistner is making Indian street food for us. Beth Dooley is teaching us all about hazelnuts. I mean, it's just a very wide variety. Whether you want to do a one-pot meal on a weekday night, you can find a recipe for those dishes. Or if you want to try something new and, explore a little bit more maybe on a weekend with one of the recipes.
I love it so much. Yia, but don't be doing too much TV, Yia. I don't want to be competing with you. Now, what are you doing?
No, what are you talking about? I can never match it. But hey, I do want to say that this whole project, Relish, is Amy and Brittany's brainchild, and they brought me into it. And so I feel super blessed to be a part of it. And that was, when they first approached me, I was like, I felt like, okay, like this is kind of cool. And then I didn't realize that they wanted me to host it. And so it was, these are my girls, and they're amazing.
Yeah, just don't do too much, Yia. Don't do too much now. I love you, buddy. Thanks, guys, so much. I love this. I can't wait to watch the new season. And you can find Relish. Head to tptoriginals.org/relish. Busy guy. I love that man.